Okay, yo, we're back with our boy Billy Body from London with the hot news. What do you got? Boom.
Yeah, so it's been a good couple of weeks. I always felt there was going to be this period where I came over to here, and you have like credibility in other places that you were at, like Sportskeeda, Russo's brand, and whatever, and you guys know about it. But I feel like looking at my comments on YouTube this week, it's a lot better. Like hitting everything at the Rumble with, um, the Royal Rumble winner, like the whole finish of the Lashley match, the Ronda Rousey situation. Yeah, so I think now people are going to shut the up and just let me get on with what I want to do. Joe, have you got have you got the first clip?
Nah, they didn't
Yeah,
come through.
we'll play that
come
at some
through
point.
yet.
We'll play it after Konnan needs to go. We'll just run through what we need to do for this week. So what do you guys want to talk about first? Like got stuff
Shane
on the Shane
McMahon.
situation,
Shane
stuff on the
McMahon.
Ronda situation. What's that?
Shane.
McMahon.
Shane McMahon. All right. So actually, some of the stories
Actually,
out
let's do
there-
that. Let's do this. Yeah, okay, I'm going to tell you the story I heard, and you just tell me if it's accurate. That he took over backstage the booking of the Rumble and rubbed everybody the wrong way because he booked himself to do a lot better and everything, and Vince got wind of it, and that was the impetus of what led him to let go. That's a story for me perusing the internet and seeing that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, and I heard he got heated with Brock. Maybe they went face to face like that. So
All right,
No.
no.
all right. So what
No.
else?
Conan, do you hear anything? Because
Yeah,
I
I heard from wrestlers that are in the company that were there that night that he basically went over Vince's head. He was told to do something. He didn't do it. He just said, F it. And he, didn't check with Vince and he just did it, and he got mega heat for that.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason I asked Conan is because there was some of the people involved in the situation were the Mysterios, because they were among people that were a little bit annoyed that there was a spot that they were supposed to do that Shane just completely overlooked, where Dominic was supposed to eliminate Ray. And
Yeah, because they told the story. They were leading up to that.
Yeah.
They weren't even they didn't even like interact,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah, okay.
this is the thing. When Shane was involved in it, he didn't seem to know existing storylines and move people into places where they weren't interacting with people that they were in storylines with. But that's not why he got fired. He's not even fired. So let's clear this up. Shane's a major shareholder, and he has a contract as a consultant. So he has an active roster contract, but he has also a contract as a consultant where he's basically paid to advise WWE on their ideas. So the father's paying the son to come in and give some ideas like Raw Underground, how the Rumble should be booked, who he wants to work with, etc. Now, there's rumors out there that he was supposed to be working with Seth Rollins. He wanted to work with Seth Rollins. His dad wanted him to work with Austin Theory. So that's wrong in the first place. The second thing is that you can't fire him. You can send him home and tell him not to come back for 6 months or a year, which is probably what's happened here. So he's not fireable. So that is the wrong terminology as well. He did rub wrestlers up the wrong way because he was changing stuff in a Rumble that didn't make sense. But the main reason where the hit the fan is that he pissed off Bad Bunny. And when Nick Khan talks to Bad Bunny and says, "How was the Rumble?" and Bad Bunny says, "Well, I was at the beginning of the Rumble, and then I was at the end of the Rumble, and then I was at the beginning of the Rumble, and they kept telling me that I was in different spots in the Rumble," that isn't going to fly, because that relationship is a Khan-built relationship, and you can't mess around with Bad Bunny's number. He's not a talent, like he's not a roster talent who's going to deal with this. He's like a massive, massive celebrity, and you need to structure what Bad Bunny's doing correctly. So once the bad feedback got back to Nick Khan, where Bad Bunny's experience wasn't as good as before, and it wasn't as straightforward as before, that was where the hit the fan when it got round to him. So that was primarily the reason where all of this got back to Nick Khan through Bad Bunny, where Vince just
And let me just say this, just to show how strong Bad Bunny's did with them. I was reading this thing of like the top 5 watched videos of WWE last week, and like number 4 was Brock Lesnar throwing Bad Bunny out.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this for them is a major relationship. It's even above the Johnny Knoxville one. So I think that was the real point where it was the case of you have to go away for a bit. We have to be seen to be doing something. I don't think he's fired. He can't be fired. I think he'll be back, but I don't think he's going to be around for WrestleMania. Well, I know he's not going to be around for WrestleMania, but I think that was the real point where this got outside of the agents and outside of pissing off wrestlers like Ray and Dominic and Randy Orton.
But is there something to the fact that Vince wanted him to do something, he just said "F it" and did it his way?
I can't think what spot that would be, but I mean, I think that was generally what he did for.
Because I was told that.
Right.
I was told.
Well, do you know what that was? Because I
don't know. I think it might have been something with Lesnar. I think it was something like where Lesnar said something like, "Hey, this is what your father wants," and he was like, "Don't worry, I'll fix it with him," and he never went and fixed it with him. You know, and when Vince found out, he was pissed. That's what I heard.
I got a couple.
Well, there's a side story here as well. So something I reported a while back, and this was actually a booking plan. This was actually a booking plan that they've decided to do away with. Now, I don't know if that means that Brock Lesnar is going to be the WWE champion and they're going to go back to unification. But Brock Lesnar eliminated exactly 5 guys, and one of them was Bad Bunny. And obviously, if you take Bad Bunny out of the equation, there should have been a guy who was supposed to come in at number 30 that got beaten up backstage. So they could have gone to the Elimination Chamber with Brock needing to face the 4 guys he illegally eliminated, plus the guy he beat up backstage, not including Bad Bunny. But that's all been now. They're doing the title match instead. But going into Monday, they did leave that wide open for him to be in a chamber match with the guys that he eliminated. But I mean, this is all stuff I reported. Like, everything at the Rumble played out exactly as we said here. So I don't really know what more I can do or say. I just carry on, just getting stuff.
Let's just deliver the news. We have an audience for it, and they some appreciate it, some don't. Let me tell you a couple. I got a couple texts from somebody who used to work there.
Let me say something just quickly. I just apologize to you, Glenn, because I know you didn't appreciate it. I didn't know that you didn't want to know that CM Punk was going to get beat.
Do not tell me spoilers. Don't tell me spoilers. That's the one thing I cannot stand, because I don't like to. I don't like to spoil. I don't like spoilers. I don't want to know who. I don't want to know what. Yeah, maybe like long-term thing.
It was a great story, so I told you straight away. And
right, but if you're telling me like a finish for a match that's coming up that we'll be watching in a few hours, I don't want to hear that. But let me tell you this. I guess the guy gave me a couple stories of interactions he had with Shane, but but here's the gist of it. Here's some of the highlights, okay? I can tell you I've never worked with anyone who was so universally disliked, okay? He's such an insecure baby, okay? And he's an insecure fool, and he's been in the business forever, yet still has no instincts for story or wrestling. And that's pretty much kind of like the consensus backstage, I guess, with people there.
Wow.
So, that guy was a pretty prominent.
Is that after the incident, or is that after the incident, or before?
Oh, this is way before. Is that before? Like, just here. This over the period of time, over the course of time. Like, every time he comes back, it's like, I guess he rubs the roster the wrong way. So I don't think they like him that much. But who knows? So what? You got something on Ronda this week?
Do you speak to Sean Waltman? Do you speak now? No. Do you speak to Sean Waltman?
No. Nope.
Okay.
No, I got a couple friends he used to work